Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the JW Player Now page to create some code that will embed video and audio into your web pages. So as you can see, I've got the browser pointing to the JW Player Now page, but I've also got a couple of other things that I want you to look at. Over on this side, I've got a folder that I've used to define a site in Dreamweaver, and over here you can see the files that are in there. Now ignore the bottom two files. They're just clippings, screen clippings that are going to allow me to grab some YouTube URLs very quickly. And over on the bottom of this side of the page, I have Fetch open, and it's open to an account that I have. And inside there is a folder called the test JW folder, and inside there I've got a couple of media files that I'm particularly interested in. One of them is called jig.mp3 and the other is called waffle FLV. So these files are on my server, they're on the web, and they don't exist anywhere for the moment except now they're on my server. So I'm going to come to the JW Player page and I'm going to put in the right URL. So the first thing I have to do is select the right radio button, and I'm going to select on the web because again these files, these two media files that I'm interested in, exist on the web. And the first one, the URL, is going to be what we're familiar with, http://web.uvic.ca. They happen to be on my account, which is called A Keller. And inside A Keller, they're in the WW folder, but they're in a folder called Test JW. Test JW, all in lowercase. And the first file that I'm interested in is the one called waffle.flv. Now, the JW player usually likes MP4 files, etc., but if you're downloading something that you've got from YouTube in one way or the other, or you've created an FLV using Flash or whatever other means, you have to be careful to give it the right extension. However, you may find, as in this case, that the JW player is warning you that it doesn't really know about FLVs, but in fact it does. And we can quickly preview this by just clicking here. And what you're seeing now is on this page, the JW player has got off to the web. I'll just close the sound, and it's displaying this particular video that I wanted to. So now that I know that everything is working, I want to get the code that I'm going to embed into my page. So I've got a choice of skins here, and I'll just take the first one, but you can experiment with different other. And I'll just leave the dimensions of my video as is, but as you can see in this area of the screen, I could adjust them, and I could also say where I want the controller to be and whether or not I want it to start automatically. And the JW player, before it gives me the embed code, is going to want to know my email address. Now they're a very good company, so I have no problem giving them my email address. And I've also said keep me informed of news, offers, and updates. And I know they're not going to do anything untoward with my email, and I'm going to give them a real email. And I click the embed code, and just in a couple of seconds, it's going to generate some code. Just wait for it. There it is. And it's this code that I'm going to embed, or rather that I'm going to copy and paste and put into my web page. So I'm just going to copy that thing. That's what you've just heard. And I'm going to go to Dreamweaver. And on this Dreamweaver page, I've got a few lines just acting as place markers. And I do have to work with code. So I'm just going to find my place. And I'm going to find a convenient spot. And I'm just going to paste that code in. And then I'm going to save my index page. And I'm going to go back to the browser. And you can see that file has been embedded into my page that I'm working on in Dreamweaver. So that's pretty good. Now I can do the same thing. I'm just going to close this browser that's previewing my document, and I'm going to just reload this page, the JW Player page. And once again, I'm going to select on the web, and I'm going to give it this time the URL to that audio file. So I'm going to go to http web.uvic.ca, just as I did before, A. Keller, and the name of the folder where this is, where the file that I want is inside test JW, and the folder this time is called jig.mp3. Now, as you can guess from the extension MP3, this is an audio file, and there's no video to accompany it. So I do want to make a couple of changes. I'm going to come down to the width and the height settings, and I'm going to unclick this lock. And what that's going to allow me to do is to create a, if you will, a custom slice. And because this is an audio file, all I need are 24 pixels. And as you can see, with the slider, the height slider extended all the way to the left, it stops at 24 pixels, and that ensures that I'm going to have the proper space for the controller. And one more time, they're going to ask me for my email address. And once I've given them that, I'll click the Embed Code button again, and it's going to generate another line of code that I'm going to cut and paste. And there it is. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver, and I'll put it right over here. Now you notice you're not seeing anything in Dreamweaver, and that's okay. You'll see it when you preview it. So I'm just going to go find a place where I can put this stuff in. And I'll just take these couple of spaces. And so I've pasted in that code from the JW page that I've just copied. And once again, I'm going to look at that page. So now you can see I've got my video and I've got my MP3. But the MP3 is only 20, the height of the controller and everything else is only 24 pixels. So now I've got my MP3, just that quickly, embedded into my web page. Well, suppose that rather than having a file on my own server, I've got something up on YouTube that I want to embed. So here's where we go. So I'm just going to click here. So I'm going to go directly to YouTube. And I'll just stop it. So here's the video that I want to embed into my page, but it's going to be played not from my server, but from YouTube. So I'm going to copy the URL, and I'll just go back, and I'll just reload the JW page. And this time, I'm going to select the YouTube marker, the YouTube radio button, excuse me, and I'm just going to paste that in. And I'll preview it just to make sure it's working. And in fact, there it is. Now again, this is on the YouTube server, but now I want to get the code that is going to enable me to embed it into my own page. So one more time, they want my name, or rather my email address, and I'll click the embed code. Takes a couple of seconds. There it is, and I'll just copy all that from my browser, and I'll go back to Dreamweaver, and we'll just make it a little easier to see. So here is my video on YouTube. I'll go to the code and find the place where I want to paste that code in, save it, and one more time I'm going to preview it. And as you can see, now I've got a second video, third embed, if you will, on my page, and it's again, it's on the YouTube site, and there you can see what will be displayed. So I'm just going to close this out, and I'm going to do this one more time, and this time I'm going to get just the sound, if you will, from YouTube. So I've got a URL ready to go. And in fact, all I want, I don't want to get the whole, I don't want to display the video. So I just want to get the soundtrack. So I'm going to copy this thing. I'm going to copy the YouTube URL and I'm going to use it. And even though this has a video, this soundtrack has a video attached to it, I'm only going to display enough of it so you can see the controller, and it'll be like having an MP3. So I'm going to paste in the URL that I just copied from the browser. And once again, I'm going to unclick that block button and I'm going to make the height of the movie that I'm going to embed 24 pixels high, which will give me just enough space to display the controller, but nothing else. And one more time, fourth time, I'm going to give them my email address. That's what they want. If I don't do that, they won't give me the embed code. And this time, I'll wait just a second as we've done before, and I've got some code, and I'll go back to Dreamweaver, and as we've done before, I'm just going to find the place easily where I want to have this appear. And in this instance, it's right there, and I'm just going to paste that in and save it. And if we come down to the bottom example, so what I'm really doing is displaying a YouTube video without the video portion. And all I really have displayed on my page is the soundtrack. So this is really the simplest way I know to use the JW player to embed things on your web page. Now, there are other ways of using the JW player that allow you a lot more flexibility, that give you more ability to, for example, to put in a jukebox or to change the background color of the controller and lots of other things. But that's for another day. Right now, we've just looked at a way of embedding movies and sound that either exist on our own server or are already present on YouTube. As far as I can see, this is the slickest and the fastest way of accomplishing this. Hope it's been helpful.